To be with the information is balancing the information, to hold it still, to rest with it. What do we do? What I noticed is some of you no longer represent the wisdom you've been giving me. You've absolutely identified yourself in the way that and of the manner that you have accosted me. So, we all create this thing called life. And life loves it when you build a ship. Mothership, fathership, a brothership, sisterhood, things like that. Okay? But let's say it's just your relation, okay, with this life to elate. So to relearn the elation of love, to relate to that, your ship, the partnership that you've made, is like when you make the ship and you finally get the ship going. Life likes to test your ship to see how she floats, sails, flies, soars, sings, praises, whatever it is you decided to do. All of that, it will test you. And like something really nice, you just get used to life throwing rocks at it, because that is the test. Not every ship makes it. Is it beautiful to see one blossom? Absolutely. Any way it goes. The partnership you have with life is a lot bigger than a simple boat or plane or whatever the fuck. And you can even go back as far as the Jetsons were good. I'm not sure they really thought into that, but it doesn't sound too much like that for real. Because when you're done with that, that's not how it is. That's not how you feel. That's not any of that. It just is what it is. And like that, what you made was really beautiful, simple, common. It's love. It's supposed to be common. It wasn't supposed to be so unique that it hurts. So if your uniqueness no longer matches the wisdom that you're giving me in dialogue, it's because you're fighting yourself. If we fight ourselves, that's okay. As long as you understand why, then it's okay to have words like this when we're done. And the one with it needs to be honored as such. The one with those words, and we're done. The reason is, when you fight this beyond reason, that's you not being able to reason with yourself, and I have a multitude of partnerships with life that will allow me to explain this better. With those words, our words have helped us to relate, again, to this love that we're learning about. That is the ship you are building. And yes, life will test your sails. So, if you want to be of good tender, be kindred spirits, be kind, be like children, always. Through the eyes of a child you will keep God. Because those of you chasing an omega, great, that's part of the balance. It's you. You are the end of that. When you're done with that, there's no more need to let go my ego. Because it's you. It is you. But that's you. So, to be an alpha means you observe from the rear everything in front of you. There's many ways to see that. No one is fully in control of creativity. That's what I learned from us. You don't control creation. What you control is you. As a part of that creation, to understand what is in control, that's love and acceptance. But that's you with life. Life is in control. That's you. So your relationship with life will match something that feels a bit more radiant when we become more radiant with its wisdom, which means we had to get there first. Like every flower, it blossoms. But like every blossom, it withers, and it's gone. What was once new and pretty and bright becomes dingy, dull, and eventually sleeps, like it was never there. Though we remember it, that's fair. And then it comes back and goes on and off like a light. That's the relationship we have with creativity. We do not control it. We do not tell the flower when it's going to blossom, how it's going to blossom, where it's going to blossom. Life dictates a lot of those things in many different ways. There's a lot of ways to get a plant where it goes. Humans are not the only ones here gardening. So we've got to be a bit more humble about that. But that's what it means to be human, to be humbled. You could say it's a humiliation. But to humiliate something means to find your humanity with it, which is something special too. So again, creation, you don't control it. However, you are part of something that is creative with you. These words. So to match the wisdom, what we find it means I'm not angry. I've accepted that I'm not the omega. I'm not the end of anything. The point of origin says we let go of everything right now. That's point of origin. That is the beginning. It never ends. That is your childlike mind going, I will see this life as a child because I never control it. Like that is your relationship with it now. It is your mentorship. That is your mentor. To be demented by it, to do something wrong, means your mentor will find a way to dement you, to dementing the situation. Meaning untraining you to retrain, dimension. So, if we're going to mention something properly, we're not going to de-escalate. It's something that needs potential. Okay? Potential energy. That becomes a kinetic force. And that creates the motion. Inertia, life. Again, you don't control what's happening entirely. So create your part with it humbly. To do that means you've balanced all that information. When you are no longer chasing the omega, you realize that's because it is the alpha. And that's happening now. It's not something you stop. That's the omega. That's finished. That is the end of the product. And now you are the alpha, which is all part of the same balance. So if we're going to discuss something that is in alignment with itself, something that is working properly, like a well-tuned instrument or machine, quote unquote, then you have to see that relationship in life also and find yourself with it. A great separation is happening. I can and may explain most of it, but that has been done and is being done now and always will be done forever. That's never not been the case. Nothing has been made new. It's just your lights on, your lights off, your lights on, your lights off. Some of you remember lights on, lights off better than others. Some of you act like you just got here. Some of you might have. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Wouldn't want to, because then I wouldn't be me, which is my part of this creation. Accepting its wisdom, seeing the multitudes of lives that went into this wisdom also, and how we sit well with it when we're done. Like I'm doing now. There's no reason to be afraid of the man talking to you. At all. I wouldn't even want to imagine a scenario where it could exist any way different than the way I just told you it is. If you were trying, again, you are fighting the wisdom with these words. That's you fighting yourself, leads to dementia if you keep it up. Because the mentor, life, is dementing us now because our lesson needed to be unlearned. See, so balance says wax on, wax off. I'm going to scrub the parts that don't matter, but it all does. And then I'm going to show you how you make peace with what has happened, because that's why it matters. And then when you've done that, you'll see you're no longer fighting yourself, and you've accepted your truth. That's it. And back to your youth, and you enjoy your process. Each one of you will come and go. Lights on, lights off. But if you made peace with it now, then your light's on forever. Just like that. You're no longer waking up like it's new. It's not. That's the alpha. The omega is waiting for it to end. If you were trying to end something, then perhaps you're not as happy as you thought. So do we love ourselves when we're angry? Yes. That's why you get angry. If you didn't love yourself, you wouldn't care, and that'd be it. Does that mean that in the grieving process, you don't go through the other emotions to balance that out? No, but that's balance, and if you knew that, then you're of sound mind. There is no way anyone should argue with you about that now. That is a collection of thoughts that have come and gone for millennia, eons. As long as I've been here, as long as I've ever known life to be the ambient, logical, illogical, whimsical part of everything that is, as long as you know what I just said and balanced it out, then you don't have to worry about reading your stories and being chewed up by its owner. That's life. You would only chew yourself up if you did that, which means you have something to learn about you. And I've already learned that also, which means I know something about us you didn't know before. Now you know that I know that we know, so there will be no room for you to abuse what I know with you anymore, any way it goes. That's the end of it. For now. Until it isn't. I wouldn't know if it isn't. Again, that's the beginning of a never-ending cycle. Point of origin means you're done cycling. It means you're just living now. And you know why. And you know how. That's it. Don't worry about my run-on sentences. If you want perfection, you got it. That's looking at that and not being hurt by it now. Again, a new lesson for you. That's perfection to me. Seeing it like it is, imperfectly perfect. That. Nothing happened by accident. It's perfect that way. Could I write a perfect letter? Sure. Does it matter to me right now? Not so much. That's keeping you the way we are. Peaceably, amicably, emaciably. Perfectly, right where we are.